Welcome to Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, with your host, Steve Garrett, lifetime member of the National Corvette Museum, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 45 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. And be sure to visit the Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join our Corvette Today Facebook group there as well. Also, make sure you sign up for the Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at CorvetteToday.ck.page. And be sure to subscribe to our Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube as well. And be sure to patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, MidEngineCorvetteForum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of fellow Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at MidEngineCorvetteForum.com. Soul Performance Products, developed and manufactured in the United States, the Soul Performance Products exhaust portfolio has been tailored to elevate the experience of the world's most exciting sports cars, including the latest generation of the Corvette. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvette. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit Aerolarri.com. Ciocca Corvettes. If you're a Corvette enthusiast, and I know you are since you're listening and watching Corvette Today, then you need to know about Ciocca Corvette. They're based in Atlantic City, where you can find over 100 new and pre-owned vets on the lot and inbound. Ciocca also ships Corvettes all over the country, custom ordered to your specifications. They're staffed with experienced pros who can answer all your questions. So don't compromise. Visit CioccaCorvette.com. That's CIOCCA Corvette.com and find out more. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. E5 Wheels. E5 Wheels is a passionate and dedicated wheel company that serves only Corvette. They make spun-forged wheels for your C8, C7, and C6 Corvette. With the best fitment in the industry, E5 Wheels ensures your wheels complement the aesthetics and functionality while optimizing the performance of your Corvette. Visit e5wheels.com or call them at 305-964-7429. If you're ready to finance your next Corvette, Woodside Credit is the go-to place for enthusiasts. With the lowest monthly payments in America and a process designed to make getting behind the wheel quick and easy, it's no surprise Corvettes are one of the most popular vehicles to finance. Visit woodsidecredit.com to estimate your low monthly payment with a quick quote. And be sure to mention Corvette Today as your referral for a special gift when your loan is funded. And a shout out to Corvette Forum, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. My guest on Corvette Today is the longtime TV host of the Mecum Auctions. He's here to preview the 38th Annual Mecum Spring Classic in Indianapolis, Indiana. You know him as Scott Hoke. Scott, welcome to Corvette Today, my friend.
Steve-O, good to be with you, buddy. It's great to get to talk about Mecum Indy, great to talk about Corvettes and all kinds of car stuff with you today.
That's awesome. Scott, before we get started talking about the Mecum show, let's spend a few minutes talking about John Kraman. As everybody knows, John Kraman passed away in January of this year. You guys worked together for many, many years. Talk a little bit about John.
Oh, Steve, we could spend the entire program talking about John.
Yes, we could.
You know him well. I worked with him for 17 seasons, side by side in the booth for many, many hours per day, several days each auction, and a dozen or so auctions every year on average. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. I spent more time with John on the air than I did with some family members, unfortunately.
Yep.
But John was just an incredible human being, so kind and generous and caring and genuine. He always wanted to talk about what was happening with you, not himself. I mean, he did update us on what was happening, but I think the people who watched our shows and knew John from the shows and heard him were able to take in his vast knowledge, not just of Corvettes, but of any car. They heard and got the impression of this man, which was exactly what he was like off the air.
Yeah.
And it's remarkable that somebody in our business is like that. The funny thing is, John had no broadcasting training. He didn't know anything about broadcasting. I remember when we first started, I basically explained a couple of things to him about how things work and what we're doing when this happens or that happens and who's talking to us at a certain point during the show. But he had no broadcast training. But that wasn't the point. His life revolved around four things: cars, guitars, motorcycles, and airplanes.
Yeah.
Obviously outside of his own family. But John was that remarkable guy who could take a car and explain to you everything you really needed and wanted to know about that car in a very clear and concise manner. And he didn't take you too deep into the weeds, and he didn't talk over your head. And when he finished talking about it, you thought to yourself, wow, I learned something just now.
Yeah.
And that happened all the time.
And you touched on something just a minute ago. He was so brilliant. He was a walking encyclopedia of cars.
I often told people that John has forgotten more about muscle cars than anybody in the room has ever known.
Yes.
You know, and that's exactly right. He was. And people ask me all the time, do you guys have a script? Do you have notes? No script, except for the very, very beginning of the program. And even then, sometimes it's just kind of off the seat of our pants. But we do have the consigner's sheet on each individual car, just kind of outlining the particulars of that car. But the automotive industry in general, no notes. Occasionally, he would go to a blue book that he kept just to confirm a horsepower rating on a 56 Cadillac or something, fill in the blank.
Sure.
But no notes. So much of that was just off the top of his head. I think he had a photographic memory. I really do.
Almost. Absolutely right. And you know what? His love for Corvettes was paramount too, Scott. Talk about John's love affair with Corvette.
Oh, he was first a Pontiac guy because his dad was in the business and he grew up around Pontiacs. But he was so much of a Corvette guy as well. He loved the Corvette. He kept up with all the rumors. He followed the stories of, 10 years ago, the rumors of this mid-engine Corvette that's coming out.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be, or they're going to call it the Zora. He loved his 2010 Corvette that he kept out on the West Coast. He did a couple of little minor cosmetic things, but he really loved that car and really loved driving it. He was head over heels when that mid-engine Corvette was announced. In fact, Steve, I'll share this with you. John texted me on July 31st of 2019. We had not seen the C8 in person yet, neither of us, but he texted me and he said, "Hey, Scott, I just printed up all 36 pages of the 2020 Corvette factory order documents the dealers use. I'll bring it tomorrow. No prices, though. August 15th release date." And he was so excited about that. And a couple of months later in Louisville, we got to see the C8 Corvette for the first time at a dealer event. I mean, he knew more than the guys at the shop.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All the option codes, all the colors, everything you want to know about the Corvette. Don't ask the guy wearing the dealership shirt. Ask JK.
Exactly. And, it's ironic because John's collection of Corvettes and other cars are going to be sold at this Mecum Indianapolis auction, aren't they?
Yes, they'll be coming across the block on Thursday of the auction. The 15th of May, I believe, is the date. His Corvettes, his Mustang, and a number of his motorcycles. Oh, and his GTO, by the way, his 64 GTO.
Nice.
And his motorcycles will all be selling as part of the JK collection. Before you even ask the question, yes, that will be a very emotional moment for not just me, but many, many people in that building in Indy.
I will be watching and I'll have a tear in my eye. I know that for a fact. Any closing thoughts about the Professor JK, John Kraman?
You know, he was a friend to everybody, and so many people miss him. Every time I climb the 3 steps up into the booth, I expect him to be there. And I don't want to take anything away from Bill Stevens, because Bill is fantastic. Bill's a Corvette guy too.
Yes.
But he has an impossible job of replacing John Kraman. You can't replace John Kraman. It cannot be done. But I will say that Bill does an absolutely extraordinary job. I love him. I've worked with Bill for 16 years.
Right.
And he has fit right in. It's been absolutely seamless. But John is one of those guys that comes along literally once in a lifetime. That knowledge, that personality, his voice that's instantly recognizable, the kind and generous way that he treated us as part of the team and viewers is going to be missed forever.
Yeah. I've got a little tear in my eye right now, as a matter of fact, Scott. I really do.
Oh, man.
Buddy, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll get into the meat of the Mecum Auction, the Spring Classic, the 38th Annual in Indianapolis. That's coming up next here on Corvette Today.
Wheelcraft's PVD chrome finish in bright chrome or black chrome is the buzz of the Corvette community. But now, Wheelcraft is proud to announce they can now do custom finishes for your OEM wheels, including the bronze wheel color option. And you still get the Wheelcraft 5-year warranty on all wheels. Wheelcraft offers factory wheel exchanges for C4 through C8 Corvettes, or they can apply the PVD chrome finish to your current wheels. Buying a new Corvette? Wheelcraft will work with your Chevrolet dealership to get your PVD chrome wheels there on time. You could drive away with your new wheels already installed. Doing an R8C delivery at the National Corvette Museum? Wheelcraft has partnered with the NCM Motorsports Park to do wheel exchanges once your R8C delivery is completed. You'll drive home from the NCM with your new Wheelcraft wheels. Plus, you still get free lifetime access to the Wheelcraft pit crew. So visit wheelcraft.com or call them at 833-639-4231. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
Hey, Corvette lovers, this is Brian Sarr from IntelliSense Family Office. You've formerly known us as True Wealth and Company. First off, a huge congratulations to Steve Garrett on celebrating 6 amazing years of Corvette Today. We've been proud sponsors every mile of the way. You know the thrill and drive and the pride of ownership, but here's the big question. Do you have the same confidence in managing your wealth? At IntelliSense Family Office, we specialize in helping high net worth individuals like you protect, grow, and enjoy their wealth. Whether you're a successful entrepreneur, a professional athlete, or someone who's worked hard to achieve your financial goals, we've got you covered with personalized expert advice. We understand the unique challenges you face and the dreams you have for the future. From advanced tax planning to succession planning, we provide comprehensive services tailored to your needs. Our goal? To give you peace of mind so you can focus on what you love. Ready to take your financial management to the next level? Visit IntelliSense.com or reach out to us today at 913-653-8783. Let's drive your financial success together. I'm Brian Sarf, and I look forward to helping you live the dream. Save the wave and see you on the road. Investment advisory services offered through IntelliSense Investment Solutions Incorporated, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Rev up your ride with the ultimate upgrade. The Radiator Grill Store is your go-to destination for top-notch C8 Corvette Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray accessories. Elevate your style with custom-painted engine bay covers, sleek front splitters, and side skirts that scream sophistication. Keep your C8 protected with premium Radiator Grill screens. Stand out from the crowd at car shows and beyond. Use code CT10 for an exclusive 10% discount off your total purchase at radiatorgrillstore.com. Don't miss out on turning heads. Upgrade your Corvette today.
And now, back to Corvette Today with your host and my husband, Steve Garrett.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. It's the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Wheelcraft offers all the latest factory wheel designs for the C8 Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray, and popular wheel designs from previous generations. Along with bright chrome and black chrome, Wheelcraft now offers bronze and custom colors at half the cost of OEM. So visit wheelcraft.com today or just give them a call, 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my buddy, Scott Hoke from Mecum Auctions. We are talking about the 38th Annual Mecum, the Spring Classic, coming up in Indianapolis. First off, Scott, give me the dates and the location of the Mecum Spring Classic in Indianapolis.
Sure thing. We're going to be at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. It's a few miles northeast of downtown Indy. Very easy to get to. And the auction begins May 9th. It runs through Saturday, May 17th, when a lot of the big cars will be crossing the block.
That's awesome. And you're expecting over 3,000 vehicles at the auction.
That's what they tell us. We sometimes put out a target, and I would fully expect that number to be somewhere between 3,000 and 3,500 cars, because there are a lot of cars that will end up showing up last minute. Walk-ups are okay. We'll take them.
Absolutely. And you're on a different network this year, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. We, as of our Glendale event in March, we are streaming live on ESPN Plus. We'll be on the air from noon until 6 p.m. each day, the Wednesday of the auction. So that would be the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. And here's the other thing. If people don't have ESPN Plus as part of their streaming package or whatever the case may be, the auction, every episode will be available starting the Thursday after the auction on the Mecum YouTube channel. So keep that in mind. If you don't have ESPN Plus, you can always watch on YouTube starting the next Thursday after the event wraps up.
That is good to know. As a matter of fact, if you have Disney Plus or Hulu, then you also have ESPN Plus. I didn't even know that myself, and we do have Disney Plus, so I will be watching it live.
Right.
Let's talk about some of the Corvettes that are going to be crossing the block. First, my buddy, Dr. Mark Davis, who's been on Corvette Today. He's got some cars that he's selling, a collection at Indy, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. If that name happens to ring a bell, we have had cars from Dr. Mark Davis before. And anytime you see a car from his collection, you need to pay attention to that car. I mean, he only has 5 cars at this event, but they are absolutely outstanding. We first met Dr. Mark Davis back with a McNamara Corvette a number of years ago that sold for ridiculous money. But these 5 Corvettes, the one that I'm drawn to, in fact, more than any other, is a 67 Bloomington Gold benchmark certified. And it's also one of only 21 to win the NCRS 5-star Bow Tie Preservation Award. I mean, it is an absolutely phenomenal 390 horse, 427, 4-speed, silver pearl, black interior. I mean, we could go on and on. But that, I think, is one of the highlights of his collection.
Yeah. Mark Davis has been on Corvette Today a couple times. If you go back and search Mark Davis Corvette Today, you'll find both of his episodes. I also see that you've got Bob Petrella's collection, which is predominantly Corvettes as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. There are a couple of ZR1s in that collection, including one of the 2019 version, the last year of the C7 and the one-year-only ZR1, and those are bringing big-time money.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, the one we're talking about specifically has only 344 miles, but he has several C1 Corvettes, including a 53 and a couple of 55s. Those will be interesting. One of the Corvettes, actually, Steve, in this Petrella collection that I think is interesting is a 2009 Z06 GT1 Championship Edition. And it's kind of a commemorative edition for Corvette in the American Le Mans Series. And they only built 55 of these, and it's got less than 2,000 miles. So that might be an interesting car for somebody to pick up that's a little bit off the beaten path, but still, it's a Z06. You take that to a Corvette show, you'll probably be the only one that has anything like that.
Absolutely. You've also got, I saw a 53 Corvette. It's VIN number 131. And, you know, they only made 300 that very first year in 1953.
Right.
That's coming across the block, too.
Yeah, indeed. And those are always very special because they represent the beginning of the history of America's sports car. They're not particularly high-performing cars. We all know that. We all know that they're all just a little bit different because they were essentially hand-built. But it's a part of Corvette history. And if you are really a serious Corvette collector, you probably want to have one of these 1953 Corvettes in your collection at some point.
Absolutely.
You've got that opportunity.
That's really cool. All in all, Scott, I see that there's already 51 Corvettes highlighted on the Mecum website. That's really good.
And, that's an interesting thing that you bring up, Steve. We're still a month or so away, and I expect more than that to eventually show up in the lineup. And I'll give you a little tip. Generally speaking, the Corvettes occupy about 10% of the total entry list at a Mecum auction. So, for example, if there are 3,000 cars, you can get pretty close and say we're going to have about 300 or so Corvettes once all the dust settles at any given event.
Yeah. And also, with the C8 ZR1 coming out, I also saw that there's at least 4 ZR1s showcased from the C6 and C7 generations.
Yes, those are always fun to watch. The special models, the Z06s, the ZR1s, the L88s, of course, the first Z06 in 1963, all of those very special option codes, they just draw the attention of the Corvette aficionados, as well they should. So it'll be really a lot of fun to track what happens with those cars in Indy.
They are very special cars indeed, my friend. Well, Scott, let's take our final break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the 38th Annual Spring Classic with Dana Mecum in Indianapolis. That's coming up next here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
The National Corvette Restorers Society is a proud sponsor of Corvette Today. Are you already an NCRS member? If not, you should consider joining, and here's why. The NCRS means community. We're a community of individuals who love the Corvette hobby and enjoy the fellowship that NCRS provides. We have NCRS chapters throughout the U.S. and Canada where members can meet monthly and share in the enjoyment of the Corvette with like-minded people. NCRS means excellence. NCRS trains some of the best and most educated judges and informed owners in the car collector world. NCRS means inclusion. Owners of both classic and new Corvettes are welcome. We offer flight and concourse judging for 53 through 07 model years and sportsman awards for Corvettes ranging from 53 through 2025. NCRS means leadership. With over 10,000 members, NCRS researches, writes, publishes, and distributes tech manuals and judging guides for the 53 through 07 Corvettes. No other Corvette organization does this, and they're available for purchase. Members also receive the bi-monthly and award-winning Restore magazine and Driveline magazine throughout the year. We also host an extensive technical discussion board at ncrs.org. Finally, NCRS means value. Many of our prestigious awards can and often do increase the value of the cars that achieve our awards. Whether you own a 53 Corvette or the latest 25 model, the NCRS has a place for you. Check us out at ncrs.org.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
Hi, I'm Mark Falter, host of the Retirement Income Hour podcast and Corvette enthusiast. I know when I bought my Z06, I was thinking two things. These cars are fantastically fast, and wow, are they expensive. Owning a Corvette isn't just about driving fast. It's about living life in the fast lane. But are your finances keeping up? On my podcast, I'll make wealth management as smooth as your Corvette on the open road. Whether it's planning a retirement, building your investments, or how in the heck do I get my retirement accounts to pay for this Corvette, I have got you covered. Search the Retirement Income Hour podcast wherever you find your podcasts, and let's shift your finances into overdrive. I'll see you on the open road financially and literally.
Investment advisory services offered through Mid-American Wealth Advisory Group, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Wheelcraft carries all the latest factory wheel designs for the C8 Stingray, Z06, and E-Ray, and popular wheel designs from previous generations. Along with bright chrome and black chrome, Wheelcraft now offers bronze and custom colors at half the cost of OEM. So visit wheelcraft.com today or just give them a call, 833-639-4231. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is my buddy Scott Hoke from the Mecum Auctions. We are previewing the 38th Annual Mecum Spring Classic coming up in Indianapolis. In this third and final segment, we're going to talk about a few more Corvettes and some of the non-Corvettes that I'm going to be watching out for. First, Scott, I know that their collection from Dennis and Deborah Payne has quite a few Corvettes in it. Let's talk about that collection real quick.
Okay, yeah, sure, Steve. It does. I can't count them off the top of my head, but there are plenty of Corvettes. There are a couple of C8s, a couple of C7s. There are two that I think are really cool as a pair. They're both split-window coupes, all right, from 1963, but they could not be more different when you start to take a look at them in a high amount of detail. One of them is a pretty bone-stock 300-horse 327 split-window coupe in Riverside red, and it looks fantastic. It's automatic, not a real big deal. But the very next car is also a 63 split window coupe in Riverside red. But this dude has an LS3 5.25 horse V8 with a 5-speed manual transmission, custom chassis, custom touches all the way around, side exhaust, black wheels, modern. It just looks fantastic. And so you've got this basic Corvette side by side with this red hot high-end custom. I think that is super cool to see those two cars as a part of this collection.
Yeah, that would be great. It'd be great to have both of those sitting side by side in the garage, wouldn't it?
That's a fantastic idea. Let's get our heads together and see if we can't make that happen.
I got a $1.25 in my pocket. What about you?
I have a $1.25, but that won't even buy me a soda here.
Yeah, exactly. Scott, another unique collection coming to the Indy Spring Classic is the Yaki Streets of Yesteryear collection. This is not cars, but this is really cool memorabilia. Tell me a little bit more about this collection.
It really is, Steve. It is a lot of what we call road art. And road art is so cool and so popular and really draws people to the auction block to see some of this authentic stuff from back in the day. For example, a motor oil salesman sample kit. A guy would take around and show to the dealership and say, here's what we're selling. Electronic engine diagnosis machine from way back in the day. There are mannequins. There are outboard boat motors. And if you know anything about outboard boat motors, that is a whole kind of a closet industry all to itself. There are Coca-Cola memorabilia things, authentic old gas station signs and beverage signs and automotive-related things, gas pumps and appliances and things like that that you can pick up. So even an old national cash register from back in the day. There are so many cool things. And how many of us have gone to a collection and seen not only the great cars, but what's on the wall, what's hanging on the wall, how they decorate. I mean, a collection of cars sitting in a garage somewhere, it almost doesn't make sense if the walls are bare. You need something to put on those walls. And this collection that's coming to Indy from the Yaki Streets of Yesteryear is fantastic. Check it out. You need to look at some of these pieces and say, hey, this would fit on my wall in my collection. It would be fantastic for you.
Yeah, buddy, I love neon, and I love some of those old car neon signs from yesteryear. I've got a small collection that I've put together, but it's so much fun to highlight some of this because, yes, there's the Corvettes, there's the cars, there's the exotics, but this road art and neon sign stuff is just absolutely fantastic. And I'm with you 100%. The cars look great, but they look even better if you got some neon on the wall.
Absolutely. And you know what? Mecum had a big presence in the collector tractor market for a number of years.
Yeah.
The Gone Farming auctions, and maybe some of your listeners know about that. And I'm just reviewing this collection. There are a lot of very cool John Deere pieces. And I'm attracted to those because my dad is a huge John Deere fan. But one of the things that combines my love of John Deere tractors and golf, believe it or not, there is actually a John Deere golf bag that is part of this Yaki collection.
Wow.
I mean, it's nothing special, but it's a branded John Deere golf bag and and the golf clubs that go with it. How cool is that?
That's amazing. I got excited about this. There's the Jerry Hurst pace car collection. That looked fantastic.
Right. And you know what? If you've got a pace car collection and you want to sell it, it doesn't matter if it's Mustangs, Corvettes, Camaros. Where is the place that you would take them to sell those? Right here in Indianapolis. Jerry Hirsch has 11, I think, pace cars. Most of them are Camaros. There's a pickup truck in there as well. But they are fantastic, and pace car collections do very well. And I'm not talking just about the Indy 500. There are a couple of Brickyard 400 pace cars in that grouping as well. So those will definitely be a hit in Indianapolis.
This will be so much fun. I look forward to the Spring Classic anyway, but this one's going to be really, really good. All right, buddy, if someone wants to sign up to be in the show or get into the show or even become a bidder, where can they do all that?
Very easy to do, and I'm glad you asked. If you want to buy tickets to the auction, you can do that. You can sign up to register as a bidder. You can do it all at Mecum.com. And I will tell you that you can save 25% on your admission if you go online and buy your tickets in advance. You can get a one-day ticket, $30, a 3-day pass for $75. And if you want to do a bidder badge, you can do that. You can check that out also at Mecum.com. There are a couple of different levels there as well. So Mecum.com is your headquarters for all things tickets and bidder badges and registering to sell a car. If you'd like to do that, you can also contact the main office, the corporate office up in Walworth, Wisconsin, to inquire about that. Matter of fact, I had a guy yesterday text me and say, hey, I'm thinking about selling a couple of cars. How do I do that? The best thing to do is contact the main office up in Walworth, Wisconsin.
They are very, very helpful. I know that for sure. Buddy, thank you so much for taking the time to be on Corvette Today. Looking forward to the 38th Annual Spring Classic with Dana Mecum in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Thanks so much, Steve, for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and we will see you very soon.
Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today. And be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today show. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-639-4231. Soul Performance Products at SOULPP.com, the official performance exhaust of Corvette Today. Ciocca Corvette at CIOCCA-Corvette.com. E5 Wheels at E5Wheels.com. IntelliSense at IntelliSense.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. Mark Falter with the Retirement Income Hour podcast. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
Thanks for checking out Corvette Today on podcast and YouTube. If you'd like to contact Steve with ideas for Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Also, sign up for email notifications at corvettetoday.ck.page. Follow Steve and the show on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Threads at Steve Garrett DJ. Thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today.